All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're settling up to unpack a wildly bullish 11-point thesis on the ITL token. Right now, the internet kind of feels like a digital Wild West. But according to this author, InterLink is writing in to finally bring some order to the frontier. So, to make sense of it all, we've corralled the author's complex theses into 5 main pillars. For today's agenda: the fake identity problem, enter the human network, community foundation, token utility and ecosystem, and finally, the path forward. Okay, moving right into part 1, the fake identity problem, understanding the absolute need for verification. The source kicks things off with a pretty massive question. How do we actually know who is real online anymore? Amidst this massive stampede of AI-generated content and bot-driven engagement, just proving you're a real human being is becoming the ultimate showdown. And this brilliantly illustrates the exact problem. Look, on one side, you've got the automated internet, just completely overrun with fake engagement, bots, and false identities. But on the other side, you have InterLink's proposed solution, the human network. The author's main argument here is that as mindless automation totally floods the web, genuine, verified human participation becomes incredibly valuable, like digital gold. So, that brings us to sections 2 and 3. Enter the human network and the community foundation. This is really about the power of the linkers. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly are these linkers doing? Well, their daily routines aren't just busy work. We're talking about claiming rewards, synchronizing metrics, joining security groups, sharing updates, and welcoming new members. This active, boots-on-the-ground participation is exactly what creates the education and retention needed to actually build the network. And here's how that compounds into a massive network effect. Step 1. Active human nodes join up globally. Then, step 2, that leads to a huge increase in interactions and data points, which naturally brings us to step 3, a much greater demand for useful products. And finally, step 4, wrangling surging developer interest to build all that out. It's like a giant snowball rolling downhill. All right, moving on to section 4, token utility and ecosystem, going beyond just holding the ITL token. So, the author draws a really sharp contrast here. Look at traditional crypto models. It often literally just means holding a coin and waiting around, hoping the price goes up. But ITL, it targets active utility applications. We're talking access, transactions, services, incentives, and governance. It is entirely about participation over passivity. And this setup unleashes absolutely incredible possibilities for builders. Think human-centered applications, community and reputation tools, identity services, reward systems, even digital access platforms and marketplace integrations. The author notes that just one killer application in this space could attract thousands of users and totally transform the landscape. Which brings us to this ultimate equation. Supply plus utility equals true value. A limited circulating supply of ITL is definitely worth watching, for sure. But the author stresses that it absolutely must be paired with genuine ecosystem demand to mean anything in the long run. Okay, let's wrap this up with section 5, the path forward, tracking the momentum and the road ahead. Let's be real. The crypto space is notorious for one-off hype. You know the drill. Endless promises, waiting for major headlines, but absolutely no visible progress. The author fiercely contrasts this with InterLink's strategy of consistent building. Regular updates, ongoing developments, actual testing, and steady delivery. That's how you forge real trust on the trail. So what's actually on the watch list for major developments? The author is tracking new ITL utility, fresh ecosystem products, partnerships, developer opportunities, tokenomics updates, and major official announcements. They firmly believe the biggest developments haven't even broken cover yet. The author's conviction really peaks with this quote. "I am a strong believer in ITL because I see a community, a vision, and an ecosystem that could be building towards something significant." They genuinely see all these different elements culminating into a massive paradigm shift. Which leaves us pondering this final thought. Will verifying human participation actually become the most valuable currency of the future web? In an increasingly automated world, simply proving you're real might just be the ultimate frontier. Thanks for joining this explainer, and keep your eyes on the horizon.